Hello, I'm DJ Sam here for another video. Today I'm going to show you how to set up a PA system. Now some people can explain it not as good, some people can explain it really good. I wanted to explain it the best I can for people to understand, because the other week I was with my friend John and he wanted to know how to transfer some pen sticks to transfer some photographs to a pen stick. The other mate was there, he's a tech buff, and he just said, oh, I'll just plug the pen stick in and just drag the files over to the pen stick. And then I was like, yeah, you've not explained it right there. And he was like, well, how do I plug the pen stick into the computer? How do I access the pen drive? Do you know what I mean? And all that. So they're missing a couple of steps out. So some people might think, oh yeah, people know what to do, it's self-explanatory. But for others, they might think, well, how do you plug the speaker? Where do I plug it in on the mixer? You know what I mean? There'll be questions like that. So I want to make a detailed video. And this is my Beringer Euro rack, and it's a ub1204fx. And I absolutely love this mixer. I wanted to get another one because I broke the selection knob. I can like scroll through all the different presets, but I can't click in. I broke it, which is really annoying because you can't get a replacement button, which is what I need, and they don't have them. And I tried to get another mixer, but you couldn't get one as good as this for less than 100 quid. So I was like, oh, forget about it, and I'll continue with this, and I'll just use a pin or something that selects. The only one I'd select anyways is reverb, because like that would be the most useful one in case somebody wanted to sing with a bit of reverb and have a bit of guitar reverb on it. But anyways, I'm gonna start this. Well, anyways, we're gonna start this video. So the next step is I'm gonna show you the wires that you're gonna need, and I'll explain the wires to you, and then we'll plug it all in. We'll give you some sounds, and then we'll wrap the video up. Does that sound alright? Yeah, sounds good to me. So I have a box of wires here which contain the wires that we're going to need for this video. So I've got here, this is the one that goes from the mixer to the laptop. So you've got your standard like headphone jack, those headphone ones, you'll know what that is. And then we've got this one here, which is a big jack, which is like what they use for guitars. And on the end here is a RCA, so it's RCA to jack adapter. I got that because it's just a lot easier. I'm going to show you that mixer, so you need that one. So that's one cable that we're going to need. And then here is Pro Sound. This is a XLR. So you've got XLR male to female. That's going to go from the mixer, which I'll show you how to plug that in, and that goes from the mixer to the speakers. So we're going to need this. So we need one of those. And then the other thing you're going to need as well is the power cables. So we'll go down, we're going to need a few power cables. So this is the power cable that's going to go from the power to the speaker. This one is known as a kettle lead. It's a 3-pronged female kettle lead. We're going to need that. And then we're also going to need another one, which is for the mixer, which is also a kettle lead. But what you need to bear in mind is you need to use the exact cable what came with the mixer, because this one's quite short and it has 250 volts, has whatever amperage in it, 3 amp fuse. You do not want to wreck your system up, so make sure that you have the correct cables for the exact mixer, because otherwise you may damage it. That's all you're going to need in terms of cables. So let's take it to the actual unit itself. I'll explain the back, and I'll explain like obviously the top part of it, so you know which ones are the volume buttons, etc, etc, and then we'll crack on. So this is the back of the mixer. So the kettle lead that I was telling you about, the small one, plugs into here, and then that will plug into the wall. Now you've got your power on, which will turn the unit on, and you've got a phantom on. Phantom is basically, so if you've got a studio microphone, they require quite a lot more power than your standard. So when you switch that on, it'll allow you to use your phantom power, which you can use in a studio microphone, which is awesome. Then you've got your main output, your left and your right. It's only because like I'm thinking that as left and that's right, you know what I mean, which it is, but like obviously because the mixer's facing the back, it's obviously a bit different. So yeah, don't get confused by that. Hold on a minute. You know, so so you got your alt as well, which I'll explain that as well. It's your 3 and 4. Basically, those are outputs. So for instance, I could send the control out to a room. So like if I'm in a studio, for instance, and I want the audio to go out into another room, well, I can send that out through into the main studio room and put some speakers through. And then also you can use them for like, if say you're on stage and you've got the big huge speaker wedges, you can plug them through and it'll send audio through. And I'll show you, you know, where all the volume outputs is for those. And that's pretty much the back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plug in the cables, which are going to, which ones we're going to plug in. So I'm going to plug it in the left because by when we turn that round, it's going to be the other way around. So we'll start off with this cable here. So you're going to plug this into here. And make sure you plug it in the right way. So plug that in. Now that's in, and that now will go into the socket. We'll do that in a second. And then we're going to need to plug in the speaker wire. So you're going to use it. So you're going to use your XLR. Now you're thinking, which one do I plug in? Well, one of them has got like obviously prongs, and that one's got that in. So you think, yeah, it's that one. So you plug that in. That goes into there. Now, if for every instance you're thinking, I can't get this out, don't wiggle it. Just get your thumb, press it, pull it out. Don't pull on it, okay? Because you will break it. And that will go into the back of the speaker. So put this around the laptop. I've got a laptop there, so I'm going to put that on the floor. Then we're going to get the other cable, which I'll flip the mixer around and I'll show you the actual mixer unit, and then you can have a look. And I'll briefly tell you all the different buttons and how this mixer works, because it is pretty awesome. So let's walk you through the mixer. So let's start with these ones. So you've got your mic 1, 2, 3 and 4. You've also got your balance, so basically it's balance unbalanced. So that's where you can plug in your studio mic. And then you've got this one here which makes it louder, so it obviously makes the hertz a bit louder in decibels. Then you've got your gain. Your gain is what's going to make the mic sound a lot louder. And then down here you've got your high, which is like your tweeter. You've got your mid, and you've got your low, which is your bass. Then this one is your presets. So whatever presets is on here, you can alter them, and you can alter them here as well. And then you've got your pan, which is your left, and then your right. And then here, now this is where you mute it. So if you wanted to mute it, if you didn't want it to, you know, come out of that one, you can mute it. You can also go solo, which means that it peaks on there instead of peaking on the actual main frequency. So that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much how, you know, these pretty much work. And then across here you've got your alt 1 and 3, so you've got your left, and I think you've got your right there, so you can actually alter the sound. I want to know how that works, so I couldn't get that working. But then you've got on there, you've got your tape, which is these outputs here, so you can actually plug a tape recorder in there, which is awesome. So you can record everything that you do. And then you've got your central, which is what you use there. That will be your central, so that will be your volume on that. So you can send that to another room, which is pretty much awesome. And then that's the stereo returns. I'm not really sure how that works, but you know, internet's for that. So I don't really know a lot, but when we switch this on, you'll notice the power comes on there, and then if we put the phantom power on, the 48 has then turned on as well, which is pretty awesome. So that cable that I mentioned earlier is going to go into these two here. So you've got your left, you've got your right. So let's go and grab that cable. So this little cable here. So I want to mention these are a little bit different. You've got red and you've got black. Normally it is sort of red and white, but I'm just going to plug it in like that because they displayed white and they displayed red, so I'm assuming that that's how you set it up. So this then goes into the laptop. You plug this into the laptop like that. It goes into there, and then when you play a song, and you'll see that it's being displayed on there. Now the volume is showing that there's something peeking out, which that shouldn't be an issue. I think it's because that's on there, so the level's on. But then again, it shouldn't really peek out, really, to be honest, because there's nothing turned up, so that's a bit strange. Maybe when I plug, maybe because it's the cable on the floor. So yeah, that'll be the one that's causing that. So now, yeah, so now we'll just hook it up to the, we'll sort the speaker out. Those are the speakers I use. They're RCFs. They're the 315A, and they're absolutely fantastic. So that's the back of the speaker. So you've got your line input and your line output. The line output will go into the sub. You've also got your volume knob. I always keep it in the middle. Always keep it in the middle. Never go any further than the middle, which is like 12 o'clock. You've got your flat and you've got your boost. I always have it on boost because I like a bit of boost. And then here is where you plug a microphone in. So you've got your line and you've got your mic. Make sure it's clicked on line. Last time I accidentally clicked it on mic, and what happened was it was very low sound coming out of it. I even got to the point where Sam came down to give me another cable, thinking there was something wrong with the cable, and it wasn't. It was because the line output was flicked down to mic, and that can sometimes happen during the transportation, so you've got to be a little bit careful. Further down is where you've got your on button. So you've got your on and off. And you've also got the lead that lead I was talking about, which is your kettle lead, will go into here, like that. Now, this, funny enough, I'll tell you a story on this plug. This plug was actually taken from ComScans. I like the fact of the design of the plug, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to pinch these, because I sold my ComScans, I'm going to designate these for my speakers, because they have the exact same, they've got that really cool look to it. I thought, you know what, they've got that same sort of like design of the speaker. I'm going to keep those for my speakers. So I'm going to plug that into the socket. Before we do that, we're going to plug in the cable, which is going to go in here. So this one doesn't have any sort of buttons you've got to push in. So when you push that in, you'll hear a click, and that's clicked in. So that when you want to pull it out, don't just yank it out. There's a push there. You push that with your thumb. You give it a bit of a wiggle and you take it out. Plug it in again. Once you hear that click, then you're done. So now let's get some sounds going. And I'll show you the mixer, I'll show you how to sort of like turn the volume up and that, etc. So here we are at the mixer. So you've got your left, your right, and that's going to be your main mix, and then you've got your 7 and 8, which is your other mix. So when I turn this on and I put my left on, you'll notice the audio is coming through. This one controls the high as the tweeter's going. This one controls the middle. And this one controls the bass. And you can see it sounds pretty good. So this is what the bass sounds like. But that's too much bass. So that's how that works. And then you've got your balance, your right and your left. So that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to show you what these RCFs sound like. So I'll play a song and then you can have a listen to the RCFs. That shall be the next step. Okay, let's do a sound test. I'll pick a different song as well. So what do you think? I think these sound great. They're fantastic speakers and they're well worth 500 quid. Well, that's what I paid for the pair, 500. I love them. Now, these are rated at 400 watts, but my mate said they can go up to 1,000. I'm not sure about 1,000, but they can really give out some really nice punchy bass. Now, I did a gig last Friday and I used these subs, and whenever you affect the bass on the sub, it also affects the volume. So yeah, if you change the volume on the sub, because everything was halfway, the speakers were at 12 o'clock, both there was a tone and there was a volume were all set halfway, and yeah, they kept up with the RCFs really well, and I thought these are great. But I watched a video that when I did the previous gig, which was Halloween, and these were a lot louder. The RCFs were like, it was almost twice as loud with a little bit more of a thump to it. It was really thumpy. I mean, these give out a thump. Like, I absolutely love the punchy bass. Like, it sounds fantastic. Sounds a lot louder than these subs, but the subs are pretty good because Gateway doesn't like it too loud, so it actually mellows these speakers down to the sort of, they're like Evolution subs. I paid £89 for them. Now if I'd have spent £10 more, I could have had 1,000 watt ones, which would have been about 5 to 600 watts, if that. So which would have been perfect for these. So I'm not gonna buy any more subs. I'm just gonna keep the ones I've got and use them because they are pretty good. But obviously the RCF sound better without them. A lot of people have said. I'm gonna wrap this video up, but before I let you go, if you want to see stuff that's not on, YouTube, like songs that are copyrighted, check my Instagram page. It'll be in the description down below, and basically you can check out some music because I'm gonna film a few songs that are not really appropriate for YouTube, which are copyrighted, and I'll stick them on Instagram, and you can check that out, and then you can listen to some music of what these like with just your everyday music type of thing. So anyways, I'm going to let you go here because I'm achy, I'm getting cold now. Cheers for watching, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers, bye bye.